Wow, if that's not an action-packed innings, I don't know what is. India, of course, bowling New Zealand out for 273, and the magical number that they need this Sunday evening is 270. My name's Avni Shaikde. There's Gurkirat, Nikhil Popper, and Gurkirat's chair as well has said hello from his end, which is always good to see. We've seen some strange thing, boys. Daryl Mitchell, 113. Nikhil, salute to you because, of course, if you guys watch the preview, Nikhil should literally be named the new Nostradamus of India because this man has the element of predicting games, predicting subplots. And Gurkirat wants to jump in. Hold on. We also saw
No,
Maris.
no, 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 no. I'm
No,
not
no,
talking about.
no.
I'm not talking about the game here. I'm just saying there are a couple of astrologers doing the rounds on social media about this and that. Maybe they need to ask Nikhil before they make any astrology predictions, and maybe share their winnings if those predictions come true.
100%. And Nikhil, let me just ask you, how much did Mohammad Shami impress you? Five for nearly got another World Cup hat trick. But look, talk to me, mid-innings review. This is your space, boy.
Yeah, no, I think great comeback from India. New Zealand were going very, very well. We'll talk about the drop catch later. It's still in my mind. But to have them 273 all out from being 178 for two, they've given away only 95 runs in the last 16.4 overs. That's just a lot of character shown because at no point of time did you then feel that this they could get all out from that point of time. But again, doesn't take credit away from Daryl Mitchell, who played an excellent knock, and this has been his year. He's been scoring a lot of runs, so he just made. I just wanted him to get a start, and the thing that will stay with all of us is the way he dealt with Kuldeep. He's had trouble picking the at times, but he plays spin well. But he came down, hit Kuldeep for two sixes, and then just set the tone for him and Rachin to really have even this score. So they could afford a collapse like that because they did that hard work in the first 25-30 overs.
100%. Keep the comments coming through, by the way. Love to see all you guys get chatty right now on this Sunday evening. We'll, of course, pose questions to Gurkirat and Nikhil about how you guys liked it or disliked certain parts of that first inning. Sanjay Papugiri being the first one, saying the death bowling masterclass from Bumrah, Siraj, Kuldeep, and most importantly, Shami. And he goes on to resonate thoughts about Rohit might be saying after going to the dressing room that they got 50 less than what they could have given the luck that New Zealand had today. Avneet Singh, always good to see you, my friend. How India plays Santner in the first spell of Bolt and Henry will be absolutely critical. We'll show you some numbers about them. And Raja Human, who's always going to be chatty in cricket.com's comments, would like to see you as well. If Lord's plays today, he will be picking up 6 wicket all. Please, next time we rest and Lord play. And of course, all you other people, of course. Neural Hacks was asking saying, do you think 10-run shot? We'll ask Gurkirat all of that and much more. Gurkirat, first and foremost, right? I want to show that stat, beg your pardon, the tweet that you put out. Or can you just read it out for the benefit of the viewers? Because you were absolutely spot on yet again with your analysis. And I'm not putting you on a pedestal. You are what you are.
So yeah, during the Bangladesh game, I said that right now it's all too easy. It's something that we spoke in the preview as well, that someone will need to come out and attack one of Kuldeep or Jadeja. Now it's difficult to do against Jadeja again because of his pace and he doesn't leave the stumps. But Kuldeep, given what his role is, which is to take wickets, he has to flight it up. He has to try those deliveries, which also allows the batters the chance to come down and attack him, and that is what happened. And you have to give credit to both Mitchell and Ravindra that they also realize that if one of the spinners is being attacked, India don't have a sixth bowler bowling option to fall to, so they'll have to keep sticking with those two. And yeah, Kuldeep had a very bad first spell, 48 runs in 5 overs, which is the same that Jadeja had given in his 10 overs. But then he came back well. So the wicket that he got off Phillips in the end, and also Latham was an important wicket. So it's good to get tested. It's something that we had discussed can happen to India. But even if that has happened, and India dropping those chances, to still keep New Zealand down to 273 is is a good effort. And in the preview we spoke about how New Zealand sometimes, if they are hit in one area, they make sure that someone else comes up and make sure that there isn't a cascading effect. Today you will have to say the same about Indian pacers. Siraj was spot on with his new ball spell. Shami did brilliantly, so did Bumrah. So even though the spinners went for runs today, couldn't really take those wickets in the middle overs, pacers, the trio did the job. So 273 at the halfway stage, India would still take it given they chose to bowl first.
And it's something to really consider that. Let's see how that second innings goes about, which will, of course, preview in just a bit. But Nix, it makes me think about how India, they've kind of pulled things back nicely, not just today, but all the four games which has gone by in this World Cup so far. They've been able to manage, apply the brakes and not let the momentum word seep into the second innings. How crucial is that? And what do you attribute that down to today? Was it again, like Gurkirat spoke about, Jadeja, Kuldeep, and suffocating them with spin? Or do you think it was more than that, the pace that came into play?
See, I firstly think it was the Pacers who set the tone. I don't think Jadeja was threatening at at any point of time. And again, it is something that the team is happy with. That they're looking at control, they're looking at tight towards from his end, so that they can attack from the other end. And Daryl and Rachin both were looking comfortable versus Kuldeep as well. So from there, though, I think the good thing that has stood out for this bowling attack has been the way they've corrected their mistakes in the first spell. Because as Paji touched upon, 48 runs in the first five, only 25 in his next five, and for 2 wickets. So that tells you that the change is there. The learnings are being learned very, very quickly, and sometimes you have to credit the opposition as well that they played well. It's just our expectations are so high of this bowling attack that uh, I mean, if you look at it from an opposition point of view, they have only five bowlers. Their best spinner has been hit for 48 in 5 overs, and you've dropped two, three simple catches today. So definitely that medal ceremony will be something to be looked at differently today. But from there on, to be able to contain a batting attack with, again, depth or no depth, they had 8 wickets in hand. So I think the planning and execution has been very good in terms of whoever has come in. They have given a boundaries here and there, but the second last over by Bumrah, only 3 runs of it. The over that Shami bowls, the lengths that Shami is bowling early on to Matt Henry, to Mitch Santa. Now that is, this is a quality bowling attack. It has always been one. But this World Cup, in every single game, they found a way to come back from a very difficult position, and everybody has played a part. It's not just been one guy, and that is the most heartening thing that will be there for the entire bowling unit, that they've all stepped up and helped each other. So Shami definitely has the fire, and he deserves all of that. And that is, again, this is probably going to open another can of worms, that whether you need Lord back. So I don't know. There is still time for it, but yeah, that can has definitely been opened now.
Gurkirat has just taken a nice sip of his tea, which must be feeling sweeter right now. Cheers to you. I mean, this is just water. It's not vodka or anything like that. Or it might be. You never know. But look, Gurkirat, jokes apart, though, the man who didn't take a wicket but kind of kept things really tight as ever was Ravindra Jadeja. I mean, honest to God, brilliant from him. Look at the pitch map, because we love showing you kind of things like this on cricket.com. And just talk to me about, again, metronomical accuracy. And in pictures like this, it's honestly great for him and great for his confidence, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but like Nikhil said, that he did not look threatening today. I felt that the pitch was slightly up and down, that maybe Jadeja could have tried bowling a slider, to see if that could work. But it just seemed like he also did not want to take any risk. That, apart from that, I don't have any other complaints. But sometimes how we talk, like how Zampa bowled those flippers versus Iftikhar Rizwan, and then versus Nawaz. I do feel that at some point of time, maybe Jadeja could have tried bowling that slider to Mitchell, because he's got Sky out that way in the IPL a couple of times. Maybe he could have tried that, but I just think even when the spinners were bowling, or just maybe they had this at the back of their minds that today they are a bowler short, so they will have to bowl accordingly. Maybe did not want to risk too many things. So don't know. But apart from that, really can't blame him. He also created an opportunity. It was a tough chance though, which KL drawed, but still you have to credit Jadeja for creating that opportunity. And see, it's bound to happen that you will go wicketless in one of the games. Today was the first game where he went over 4 runs per over, so it's okay. No big deal. Even at the end of the day, he's still gone below the required rate. I mean, the team has gone at 5.5. He's still considered at 4.8. So you take it.
Okay, fine. Just a kind of reminder to all these people watching, because look, if you think India are going to create magic and make it 5 chases tonight, please like this video, and of course follow Nick's if you guys want any future predictions, not just about cricket. I think he's going to make a business out of it by the looks of things. He called correctly with Daryl Mitchell, of course, and it's only fair to ask him about Daryl Mitchell and putting out that wagon wheel of his. I mean, what really caught your eye with this knock? Because you mentioned it there, Nick. He's been having a sublime year, but today was a cherry on the cake.
Yeah, and again, you can see there is not one side only that has been peppered. He's had runs around about everywhere, wherever you want to. And again, when a side is bowling and looking to keep runs down, he's again, if you see, look at the shots in the V. The strike rate over long on is 138, and then you have runs on the offside as well. May not be as much, but the majority has come in the V, and that is as good as it gets when you are not looking to play. Shots that was not your range. He's timing the ball well, getting into good positions. They showed us a side view as well in terms of where he was intercepting that ball, and he was so far ahead and positive that it's just positive in terms of there are very few people who are talked about in the same breath. In terms like Devon Conway, Tom Latham, this guy, that Daryl Mitchell comes about, does his job, not much talked about. So for him to be able to come in and do it, and again become only the second guy after Glenn Turner to hit a century against India in a World Cup game. First guy to do it in 48 years. This is just feel very very happy for him, and hopefully he can score many more in the future.
Yeah, and a brilliant nugget from you there with regards to that stat throw. Now, more sumptuous stats available on cricket.com, which will, of course, tend to. But there's a lot of people going at each other in the comments, of course. I think Tanmay Agarwal first asking Vikas, and I'm guessing us, Chase ho raha hai kya? Nahi bhai, you will come to that for sure. Then Vikas is saying, yeah, ho raha hai, guys, so don't worry. If you guys like the banter in the chat as well, keep it coming, because you'll see all kinds of things on cricket.com, including what we dished out yesterday in terms of fan cams and on tour and all of that. But that can wait right now, because Gurkirat, the match is on the line, and this is what all Indian fans were worried of heading into this fixture, right? It's New Zealand's bowlers against India's top order. The score is 274. Can they get it, my friend? Please say yes. Please say yes.
Yeah, if me saying it would have really changed the fortunes, then trust me, I would have used my tongue for a lot more other things bigger than cricket. But I still feel it's a good score. It's a score that should keep both the sides in the game. It's not something, if it had been 300 or 320, you would have felt that India would
Is it a
need to
pass
have a
score? Ask Jaideep. Is it a pass score according to you?
probably because the pitch had some grip. It's not been easy to score off, in the sense you really can't play a lot of cross batted strokes. If you do that, you are fraughting with risks. So it's a par score. Yeah, you'd probably say it's a par score. uh, Dew will obviously have a role to play. If there is no dew, then things could get slightly difficult. From that sense, India would then want to make the power play count. But say if this was 300, because New Zealand were 219 at the 40 over mark, they only scored 54 in the last 10. If it was 300, then you were sure that okay, India will need to have a strong power play. Right now is the kind of score that even if India starts sedately, they will not fall too much behind the rate. So it's something. It's the kind of score that wouldn't really put pressure on the non-Rohit end. I think Rohit is going to bat in the same manner that we discussed earlier, but the non-Rohit end also will be able to take their time if things get a little tricky or tighter in the middle. So should be a good game, should be a good chase. Uh, would love it if India could make an easy meet of it, but I don't think it would be like that.
I think it was in the preview. Eris Stark, one of the guys in the comments, said Virat Kohli's average is 255 between the days of October 21st and 23rd. So, of course, today is October 22nd, and he's got a couple of hundreds against New Zealand at this time of the year. So, I don't want to jinx it, but he absolutely seemed animated when Shami got his fifer and he caught him in the deep mid wicket. And Akshay was here saying, essentially, calm down, calm down. The game's not done. And I agree with the bloke, because, look, it's always good to see Virat Kohli animated, veins popping out of his neck and all of that, which is good to see. But look, I want to ask you guys about Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma. How should they approach this New Zealand attack? We've spoken about it. Nix, if you were them, would you continue on your merry way and show how they've been flexing their power, especially in chases? Or do you think they should watch out because there could be a little swing and offer in the first 6, 7 overs, maybe more?
See, I'll credit them. They have got it spot on in terms of the balance between looking for that aggressive hit earlier and looking to respect the ball. So I think
Hmm.
in all of the games you have seen some movement for everyone.
Yeah.
Be it the Afghanistan game, Australia game, you obviously lost a few very very early. Even in the previous game that you saw, even the Pakistan game, there was some movement and they were happy to just bide their time.
Yeah.
The thing that Rohit I think is doing, and we probably aren't giving him enough credit for, is the pressure that he's putting just by his image and perception that if you err, he's not going to miss out. And
Hmm.
sometimes that also plays a part in terms of after one boundary, let's look out for the next ball. Because then the bowler is under far more pressure because now I don't want to go for another boundary. And it hasn't been that Rohit hasn't taken risk and they've always come off. There have been a few couple of times where he's taken a risk and it's beaten the bat. Even in the last game, he came down the track to hit one over mid off. He didn't connect. But you need that kind of luck when you're going that aggressive. So I think so far, both Gill and Rohit have been very smart and again calculative, whichever way you want to go about it. That they've played on the merit of the ball, and that's what I expect them to do today as well. If there is something to be hit, go after it. If there is not there, it's okay. You can take your time because the pitch shouldn't get tougher to bat at least. That is the first assumption that you make. And they are also expecting a lot of dew. Now, if there is dew, it will change a lot of New Zealand game plans as well. But yeah, that is for later. First priority, first 10 overs. It is okay if you are 50 for one. I'll take it. But not more than one. Please.
Oh my
There
God.
have,
Oh my
there
God.
have been there have been enough dreams in the past which you don't want to go back to. And I expect them to also arrest that collapse better if at all it happens, but hopefully not.
If I'm Shubman Gill, I'd probably on the lookout for Matt Henry bringing the ball back in. And Matt Henry is the kind of bowler that has not really given any room to hardly any batter to play with. And Shubman's the kind of guy who looks to get besides the line to play those punches. So if Matt Henry is getting his radar right, would not be a bad idea to just avoid it because he will get run scoring opportunities later. There is Lockie Ferguson, who he should enjoy facing. There is Santner, who's he's done well against, and probably Mitchell will bowl or Ravindra will bowl. So Matt Henry, I mean, we all talk of Bolt, but today, Matt Henry could also be an equally important batter because he's bowled to right-handers. He's bowled the kind of line which has not allowed the right-handers to get any room. And right now, a lot of bowlers who have bowled to Rohit in this tournament so far, they've allowed Rohit some room to play with. So Matt, we keep talking about Bolt, but Matt Henry will be
It
equally
was
challenging.
even in 2019, it was Matt
Yeah,
Henry.
Matt Henry who got Rohit, yes, yes, but
It was
he
it
just
was
he's the most New Zealand of the New Zealand players. He just keeps slipping under the radar. No one talks about him.
classic.
So
It's
so that,
insane.
that, that that's what I meant.
No
Yeah.
worries. By the way, Rajesh, Human absolutely resonate with you here. I don't know or concern why this channel has doesn't popular means like obviously the fact that we are a hidden gem. So if you
I
guys
know
are
we are.
jumping
I
on
know why we are not popular. We don't.
diamond in the
See,
rough,
no, we don't talk about wags. We don't talk about perceived controversies that might happen between a player ABC or XYZ. We only talk of the games that are happening and not India games all the time.
Oh,
So
so you're saying we are New Zealand?
yeah, it won't be bad to say that.
but it's always good to get your questions coming across. GG, of course, I'll take your question, and Ashish Vaishnav. Good to see you. If you guys are new, please subscribe, and all you other lovely blokes right now. GG, hold on to it because what I am, of course, being pursued by my producer right now. Just show some stats to you guys in the build up to India's second innings chase because these boys mentioned it. Trent Bolt, we can't, of course, ignore this threat because you look at how he's got Rohit Sharma on toast, or should I say Pav, because I'm in, of course, Mumbai right now. It is insane. He's dismissed him 4 times on 13 occasions in terms of one-day internationals, and he has an absolute sublime record against Rohit. We'll showcase Rohit's numbers as well in just a bit, but look at this as well. We mentioned it right now. Gurkirat just mentioned that name there, Matt Henry, and how they work in pairs. And it is absolutely scary if you look at it from that regard. I know Siraj is top of the pops here, but Henry and Bolt definitely as a pair are lethal. But speaking of Rohit Sharma, he's been in sublime form and he's been in absolute carnage mode with regards to six hitting. And you look at how he's just 14 away from overtaking Chris Gale in terms of most sixes in ODI World Cups. We might not see it today. Boy, would love to see if it happens today. And speaking of Rohit Sharma and six hitting, rose a hit in World Cups. He goes on to say this depiction, highest average in World Cups, minimum 1,000 runs, and he's again top of the pops, surpassing some brilliant names as you can see. Right, we'll take some comments right now because we always do that. And Adnan Shahid, good to see you. Santosh Udupa, likewise as well. And we'll start off from Ashish Vaishnav and then we'll get to GG. Ashish Vaishnav asking us, boys, do you see any change in the batting order, especially 3 to 5? Before you guys answer that, can you please tell all the lovely blokes and the ladies to subscribe and hit the like button because 70 people are watching and we've nearly got 50 likes. So please, go on.
Let's do it for good cricket and hopefully no changes in the batting order.
Yeah.
Because
Okay, good.
it's not needed.
Agree? Nothing, right?
I don't see any changes happening. I just hope so. Virat's numbers in the power play against left arm pace have been a little concerning. I just hope if it comes to that, he is able to play out that threat. But I don't see any changes, and I don't feel there's a need to do it because your top five is ordered in the way where all of them have maximized their potentials and their skill. There is no reason to change it, and it's not that you have one of those batters who could really add something different. Maybe if you had a left-hander and you felt that left-hander would allow you to do something different. So there's no real incentive or logic to actually make that change.
Okay. Gigi asking us, the commentators keep mentioning how the ball moves under a bit under the lights. Can you guys explain why that happens and if that happens at all?
See, I have a bit to add on this. Commentators also say that when it's overcast, it swings. But scientific studies have shown that a cloud cover has nothing to do with swinging. It's only the temperature and the humidity. So under lights, the logic could be that the temperature falls a little bit. So maybe the air becomes lighter when the temperature falls a little bit. So that pressure difference might just create a little bit of swing. It may be under lights, it may because the ball has swung a lot sometimes even in bright sunshine. If someone has watched enough test cricket in England, you would see that there have been times where under bright sunshine the ball has swung like crazy. So it's not, I don't think it's got to do anything with the lights or the cloud cover. It just comes down to what the temperature and humidity is at that point of time. Those two are, I feel, are the most important factors. It's just simplifying it to say under lights, under a cloud cover. It doesn't happen that way.
Sometimes I think we should rename this show Cricket 101 with Gurkirat because he gives you some good insights and I'm not really taking the piss out of him for sure. But next, you answer this one from Kanan B because he goes on to say, given how the odd ball is keeping low, will Ferguson continue with bowling majority shot like he's been doing in the previous games? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it is something that I'm looking forward to in terms of whether the ball keeps misbehaving or with the dew, if and when it comes, makes the ball skid onto the bat better. But in both those cases, though, the lens that we have discussed with Haris Raw, with Mark Wood, that is crucial. That you probably have to be a bit more, I don't know, back of length as opposed to being very short to create that chance. Now, something Hassan Mahmood did in the previous game with Rohit Sharma, that he kept bowling short but found the fielder once. So that is playing with fire. But again, this venue, the ball flies. So if Rohit is able to get the right connection, it will keep flying. So if Rohit is there till Ferguson bowls, then I'm very, very happy in the first place itself, which is a great place to be. So hopefully that is the case. And it'll be interesting to see when the dew comes in because a lot of captains have expected the dew to come in, but it hasn't come in early or it's taken time. And at sometimes by that time the game is probably where it is going. So very keen to see whether all of these things happen, whether there's dew, whether the ball continues to misbehave, because the ball, I don't think the ball misbehaved with the new ball as much. So it was probably more with the older ball, which got softer, that we saw a bit more uneven bounce. So again, that is something to look out for because India will look to score a lot of runs in the first 20. And again, I'm not saying first 10. I'm saying first 20 क्योंकि पहले 10 में नहीं चाहिए 11 से 20 में मार लेना.
Oh, 100%. Speaking of Rohit, I mean, Gurkirat, you put out that tweet, right? Like, you have to play on Rohit's ego. Akhil and I are going on to say, have a feeling Rohit might have to contend to two deep fielders on the leg side. New Zealand pacers could test him with in-swingers and short deliveries as they walk out to bat. So really quickly, lads, what's happening? In particular, Rohit, do you play on his ego, Gurkirat?
No, that wasn't about playing on Rohit's ego. That was about Haris Rauf bowling on his ego. I
Okay.
feel if New Zealand have the strategy that they want to bowl short at Rohit, then they have to be okay. I don't think they have enough runs to play with that strategy because the boundary is not big enough. They could easily end up conceding four, five, sixes and allow Rohit to bat at his own pace. And if Rohit is able to find three or four sixes, it will not only make Rohit's life better, it will make the lives of someone at the other end easier too. This is probably not the pitch to try that because if you are going to provide extra pace, see in the last 10 overs, there were only two sixes that were hit. One was of the full toss, and the other was of short delivery that Siraj bowled at Phillips. It did not rise enough. It just rose enough at a very comfortable height for Phillips to just have a good swing towards the leg side. So if you are going to provide that pace, you are going to make the batter's life easier. You might as well try to bowl in that in between length and hope that the ball skids up. If Ferguson, so if Ferguson is very well capable of doing what Harris or would have done in recent times,
Yeah,
and he's also capable of doing something on the exact other extreme,
exact
which
opposite.
makes him which makes him an asset. So if he's able to get that 5 meter length right, then the ball could rise up, it could stay low, and it could skid. But it all depends on what the idea is that they're coming with. And I think New Zealand are smarter than trying the short ball tactic with Rohit over here because
But if the
Mitchell.
short
Yeah.
ball doesn't work, Rohit is asking about Rohit. Would New Zealand use Santner in the first play to attack Rohit?
That won't be the worst idea. India
Yeah.
also brought in Jadeja far earlier today. Jadeja was into the attack into the 12th over, and we
Yeah.
saw Nasum Ahmed coming in early as well
Yeah.
in the game in that Bangladesh game. So it won't be a bad idea to bring Santner, but then the onus should be on Shubman Gill to take the attack to Santner.
Yeah. Is it
100%.
sorry? Is it just me or there is a nice tingling of nervous excitement?
Yeah,
Just
there is. There is. It's palpitation, and I can literally peer to my TV screen right now, and it's going to be absolute chaos. I
I am
hope
like
India
I
don't
am
get.
like Anand Bhai. I am
You
like
are.
Anand Bhai. The first game itself, 2 for 3 prepared me enough. तो अभी ठीक है जो होगा
no, no,
देख लेंगे.
it is not about what you're expecting. You're just hoping for a good game. So yeah,
हाँ वो
आनंद
तो
भाई तो सभी है. आनंद भाई तो सब लोग है.
है.
Oh, the first ball and bolt, of course, to Rohit, and he keeps it out. I mean, the mid-innings is turning into a watch-along.
Watch.
Absolutely spot on. Vikas Shukla and Santosh going on to say, Avnish and Nikhil waiting for GGS to wrap up soon. Yeah, we are, but we're being
There
polite.
is no GGS. There is GSG.
ESG, he meant. It can't be Gurkirat Gill saying, can it? I mean, you never know.
No, no,
Let's
it is
take.
Gurkirat Gill sahab.
Yeah, Gurkirat Gill stuff for sure, 100%. Chuchan, stop it with your hate comments. But look, love this channel and like it, of course, guys. We'll be back in the review. It's the second ball of the innings, and I'm just waiting with bated breath. Rohit's off the mark. So there's no Bombay duck today, at least not with Rohit, with that regard. Right. Time to, of course, say goodbye to you, lovely people. Let's just do the match together. Why not? We'll do it for T20s, Gigi. I promise you that. That's what made us famous and all of that. And of course, love your energy, all you chaps in the comments. Hopefully, India winning this 274. And only time will tell if we'll be happy or sad in the post-match scheme of things. Thanks, Gurkirat. Thanks, Nikhil. And of course, thanks all you lovely people. Like and subscribe to cricket.com because we're here to stay. I really need a chug of my vodka to see this. Cheers, guys. I have to go. Really, bye. See you guys.
Chak de.